My friend, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a dream so big, so powerful, so life-changing that you couldn't wait to share it with the world? Have you ever had a vision that set your soul on fire, an idea that made you excited about the future? And have you ever shared it only to be met with doubt, with criticism, with laughter from people who could not see what you saw? If that has happened to you, then hear me now. Never share your plans with others too soon, because not everyone will celebrate your vision. Not everyone will believe in what you are called to do. Some will try to stop you, some will try to discourage you, some will tell you that you are dreaming too big, that it's impossible, that you should play it safe, that you should stay where you are. And if you listen to them, if you let their voices get inside your mind, you may start believing them. You may start doubting yourself. You may start thinking that maybe, just maybe, they are right. But let me tell you something. They are not right. They cannot see what has been placed inside of you. They cannot hear the calling that is whispering to your soul. They cannot feel the fire that is burning within you. That dream was not given to them. It was given to you. And because of that, you must protect it, you must guard it, you must keep it safe until the time is right. There is a power in silence that most people will never understand. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, where everyone wants to be heard, where people rush to announce their every move, the wisest know that real success is built in quiet places. The most powerful decisions are made when no one is watching. The strongest plans take shape when no one else knows they exist. There is a reason why the greatest victories in life come from those who learn to move in silence. Too many people weaken their own destiny by speaking too soon. They are excited, they are passionate, they have a dream, a vision, a calling so strong that they cannot wait to tell the world. They start talking about their plans before they have even taken the first step. They announce their goals before they have built the discipline to achieve them. They share their dreams with people who were never meant to hear them. And without realizing it, they give away their power, because the moment you speak, the moment you open your mouth and let the world know what you are about to do, you invite resistance, you invite doubt, you invite voices that were never supposed to be part of your journey. Some will question you, some will discourage you, some will try to plant seeds of fear in your mind. And if you are not careful, their words will take root. Their doubts will become your doubts. Their fears will become your fears. What started as a fire in your soul can quickly become a flickering flame, struggling to survive the weight of other people's opinions. And then there is another danger, one that is more subtle, more deceptive. When you speak too soon, when you share your plans before they are fully formed, you give yourself a false sense of accomplishment. You feel as if you have already taken a step, as if you have already achieved something, when in reality all you have done is talk. And talk does not build success. Talk does not bring results. Talk does not turn dreams into reality. Only action does that. There is a reason why the greatest battles in life are fought in secret. There is a reason why the strongest foundations are laid in silence. Because when you work in silence, when you keep your plans to yourself, you protect them from the storms of doubt and negativity. You shield them from the opinions of those who do not see what you see. You allow them to grow strong before they are exposed to the world. Look at the tallest trees, the strongest buildings, the greatest structures ever built. They all started beneath the surface. They all began in places no one could see. Before they ever rose high into the sky, they dug deep into the ground. Their roots spread, their foundations were laid, and only when they were strong enough to withstand the elements did they begin to appear above the surface. That is how your dreams must grow. That is how your plans must take shape. You do not need to announce your every move. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone around you. You do not need to seek validation from people who were never meant to understand your journey. Some things are meant to be built in secret. Some things are meant to grow in silence. Some things are too sacred to be spoken of before their time. There will come a day when your results will speak for you. There will come, and when that day comes, you will not need to explain yourself. You will not need to prove yourself. You will not need to convince anyone of your vision, because your success will be undeniable. Your work will stand as evidence of your commitment. Your results will silence every doubt, every criticism, every voice that ever questioned you. But until then, you must learn the power of silence. You must learn to protect your vision. You must learn to move differently than those who seek attention before they have built something worth seeing. You must understand that the most powerful moves in life are not made in the spotlight. They are made in the quiet, in the unseen, in the places where only those who are truly committed dare to go. The greatest stories of triumph, of victory, of transformation do not begin with loud announcements. They begin with silent decisions. They begin with quiet discipline. They begin with a determination so deep, so strong, so unshakable, that it does not need applause or recognition to keep moving forward. It moves because it must. It moves because it was born to. It moves because it knows that in the end, the world will not remember what was said. They will remember what was done. So let your actions speak. Let your work be your voice. Let your success be the proof of your vision, and until then, move in silence, because the greatest victories in life are won long before the world ever sees them. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Not everyone is happy when you rise. There are people in your life right now, some close, some distant, who do not celebrate your growth. Some smile to your face, but secretly hope you fail. Some pretend to support you, but behind closed doors they whisper words of doubt and jealousy. Some are so trapped by their own fears, their own failures, their own regrets, that the moment you start talking about your dreams, they cannot help but try to pull you down. Dream killers are everywhere. They exist in every circle, every family, every community. They may not even realize what they are doing, but the moment you open your mouth and share your vision, they will have something to say. Some will tell you to be realistic. Some will say your dream is too big. Some will remind you of every time you have failed, every mistake you have made, every reason why you should settle for less. And if you listen to them, if you let their voices sink into your mind, you will start to believe them. You will start to doubt yourself. You will start to wonder if maybe they are right. But they are not right. They cannot see what has been placed inside of you. They do not know the fire that burns in your soul. They do not understand the vision that keeps you awake at night, the calling that won't let you rest, the destiny that is pulling you forward. You were not given this dream for them to approve. You were not called to this path for them to understand. It is not their job to believe in you. It is your job to believe in yourself. Some of the people you love the most will be the ones who try to hold you back. Not because they hate you, not because they want to see you fail, but because they do not have the eyes to see what you see. They do not have the courage to step into the unknown like you do. They are comfortable where they are. And the moment they see you trying to rise, it makes them uncomfortable. Your ambition reminds them of what they never pursued. Your hunger exposes their complacency. Your faith makes their fear undeniable. And instead of facing their own limitations, it is easier for them to try to hold you down. You cannot let them. You cannot afford to let someone else's small thinking determine the size of your vision. You cannot allow someone else's fear to become your own. You cannot give away your destiny in exchange for their approval. Because the truth is, no matter how much you explain, no matter how much you try to convince them, they will not understand. Your vision is too big for their mind to contain. Your calling is too great for their limited perspective. And the more you try to explain yourself, the more they will try to talk you out of it. This is why you must guard your plans. You must protect your dreams. You must be careful with whom you share your vision. Some people do not deserve to hear it. Some people cannot handle it. Some people will only try to kill it before it ever has the chance to live. When a seed is planted in the ground, it is hidden for a reason. It is covered. It is protected. It is given time to take root before it is exposed to the world. If you dig it up too soon, if you expose it before it is strong enough to withstand the elements, it will die before it ever has a chance to grow. That is what happens when you share your plans with the wrong people. That is what happens when you speak before your dream has taken root. You expose it to criticism, to doubt, to negativity, and before you know it, the dream that once burned so brightly inside of you begins to fade. Some battles must be fought in silence. Some journeys must be walked alone. Some visions are too sacred to be shared before their time. You do not need validation from others to move forward. You do not need their approval to believe in yourself. You do not need their understanding to take the next step. When the time is right, when your work is complete, when your vision has turned into reality, then the world will see. Then the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge what you have built. Then the same voices that tried to discourage you will have no words left to say. Because results silence doubt. Success silences critics. And the moment your vision becomes reality, no one can deny it. So hold your plans close. Keep your vision protected. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Because dream killers are everywhere, but they only have power over you if you give it to them. And you, my friend, were not born to be held back. You were born to rise. There is a force that works in silence, a power that moves unseen, a strength that is found not in the noise of the world, but in the quiet places where real change happens. In a time where people are desperate for attention, where they broadcast every move, where they seek validation in the opinions of others, there is something sacred about working in the shadows. There is something powerful about making moves that no one sees, about building in silence, about letting your success be the only announcement the world ever hears. Every great achievement begins in the unseen. The strongest trees have the deepest roots, roots that spread beneath the surface long before anyone ever notices the branches. The greatest structures in the world are built on foundations hidden below the ground, unseen but unshakable. And so it is with success. The ones who truly make an impact are not the ones who speak the loudest, not the ones who demand attention, but the ones who work while the world sleeps, who stay focused while others seek applause, who build their future in secret until it is strong enough to stand on its own. Too many people announce their plans before they have even begun. They talk about what they are going to do, what they are planning to build, the moves they intend to make, but talk does not create results. Talk does not build success. Talk does not change the world. Action does. And action is most powerful when it happens in silence, without distraction, without interference, without the weight of unnecessary voices, speaking into something that is still in the process of being formed. When you share your plans too soon, you invite opinions that were never meant to be part of your journey. You give access to people who do not understand your vision, who do not carry your burden, who do not have the eyes to see what has been placed inside of you. And some of them, without even realizing it, will start to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They will question your ability. They will remind you of your past failures. They will project their own fears onto you. And if you are not careful, you will start to listen. You will start to hesitate. You will start to wonder if maybe they are right, but they are not right. They do not know the path you are meant to walk. They do not see the fire that burns within you. They do not feel the weight of the calling that keeps you awake at night. And the truth is, it is not their job to understand. It is not their role to believe in you. That responsibility belongs to you alone. There is a reason why the most successful people in the world are often the most private. There is a reason why they do not talk about their plans until they have already put them into motion. They understand the power of silence. They understand that real strength is not found in announcements, but in discipline. They understand that the best way to silence doubt is not by arguing with critics, but by proving them wrong through action. The world teaches people to seek approval, to wait for validation, to ask for permission before stepping into their destiny. But greatness does not come to those who wait for others to believe in them. It comes to those who move forward in faith, who build in secret, who trust the process even when no one else sees it. Every masterpiece begins in the mind of the artist before it is ever revealed to the world. Every invention is built in private before it ever reaches the hands of the people. Every great leader has spent years preparing before anyone even knew their name. The work that changes the world is not the work that is announced too soon. It is the work that is refined in the unseen, tested in private, strengthened away from the eyes of those who would misunderstand it. If you want to do something great, do not seek attention, seek progress. Do not chase applause, chase excellence. Do not waste your energy explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand your journey. Let your actions speak for you. Let your results be your voice. Let the impact of your work be the only announcement the world ever needs to hear. Because the ones who truly rise are not the ones who shout about what they will do. They are the ones who work in silence until the world cannot ignore what they have done. The greatest victories in life are often won in silence. The most powerful transformations do not come with loud announcements or public celebrations, but in the quiet moments when no one is watching. There is something sacred about the process of growth, something powerful about walking your journey without seeking approval, something extraordinary about building your life in private before the world ever sees the results. Too many people fail. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack potential, but because they invite too many voices into their process too soon. They allow doubt to creep in through the words of others. They seek validation before their vision has taken root. They share their plans with those who were never meant to carry them. Not everyone around you is meant to know your next step. Not everyone in your life has the capacity to understand the path you are walking. Some people will hear your dreams and immediately try to shrink them down to a level they can understand. Some will discourage you, not because they hate you, but because they cannot imagine that level of success for themselves. And if they cannot see it for their own life, how could they possibly believe it for yours? Others will secretly resent your ambition because it reminds them of their own wasted potential. It forces them to confront the fact that they once had dreams too. Dreams they gave up on, dreams they were too afraid to pursue. And rather than face that painful truth, it is easier for them to tell you that you are being unrealistic, that you should lower your expectations, that you should be satisfied with what you already have. But you were never meant to live by their limitations. You were never called to shrink yourself down to fit inside the small box of their understanding. You have a vision that is too big for some people to grasp. You have a purpose that is beyond their ability to comprehend. And if you spend your time explaining yourself, If you waste your energy convincing others to believe in you, you will slow yourself down. You will begin to question the very thing that was meant to set you apart. There is power in moving in silence. There is wisdom in keeping your plans to yourself. Because when you share too soon, you expose your dreams to doubt. You give room for negativity to take root. You allow outside voices to shape something that was never meant to be influenced by anyone but you. The most successful people in the world do not talk about what they are going to do. They simply do it. They do not waste time looking for approval. They focus on results. They understand that dreams are fragile in the early stages, and if you expose them too soon, they can be crushed before they ever have a chance to grow. If you want to see your vision come to life, learn to protect it. Learn to guard it with everything you have. Work in the dark so that when you step into the light, there is no question about whether you belong there. Build in private so that when the world finally sees what you have done, they will have no choice but to acknowledge your success, because success is undeniable. It cannot be argued with, it cannot be debated. When you achieve something great, the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to recognize what you have built. The road to greatness is often lonely, not because you are alone, but because very few people will understand the sacrifices you are making. They will not see the late nights, the early mornings, the moments of doubt you had to push through. They will not understand the discipline, the perseverance, the sheer force of will it took to keep going when everything inside of you wanted to quit. They will only see the final result, and they will call it luck. They will say you were just in the right place at the right time. They will act as if success was handed to you overnight, without ever realizing the years of preparation, the struggles, the battles you had to fight behind closed doors. And that is why you must stay focused. That is why you must move in silence. That is why you cannot afford to waste time explaining yourself to those who were never meant to understand your journey. You do not need their approval. You do not need their validation. The only thing you need is the discipline to keep moving forward, the strength to keep believing, the courage to keep building, even when no one is watching. Because one day when your vision has become reality, when your success speaks for itself, when the world finally sees what you have done, the same people who doubted you will look on in amazement. The same voices that once told you it could not be done will have no words left to say. Because when you rise, when you succeed, when you prove that you were never limited by their opinions, they will have no choice but to acknowledge the truth. You were never waiting for their belief. You were never asking for their permission. You were always going to succeed with or without their approval. There is a power that comes from within, a force that moves those who are determined, a fire that burns in the hearts of those who refuse to settle. The ones who truly succeed in life are not the ones who seek applause, who chase validation, who wait for permission to move forward. No, the ones who rise are the ones who learn to walk alone, to build in silence, to trust the vision planted within them, even when no one else can see it. There is something sacred about holding your dreams close, about protecting the plans that have been placed in your heart, about moving with intention without feeling the need to explain yourself to the world. The greatest achievements are often born in solitude. The most powerful ideas are formed in the quiet, away from distractions, away from the noise of unnecessary opinions. Those who truly make an impact do not broadcast their every move. They do not waste time convincing others to believe in them. They do not depend on the encouragement of the crowd. Instead, they focus, they discipline themselves. They pour their energy into their work, knowing that real success does not come from what is spoken, but from what is done. Too many people lose their momentum because they share their plans too soon. They open themselves up to doubt, to criticism, to the negativity of those who cannot see beyond their own limitations. The truth is, not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will support your dream. Some will dismiss them because they have no vision for their own life. Others will criticize you out of jealousy, out of fear, out of the discomfort that comes when they see someone daring to step into something greater. And if you are not careful, their words can take root. Their doubts can become your doubts. Their fears can become your fears. And before you know it, you have slowed down. You have second-guessed yourself. You have allowed the voices of others to hold you back from what you were meant to do. There is wisdom in moving in silence. There is strength in keeping your plans to yourself until they have been set into motion. When you protect your vision, you protect your energy, you keep yourself free from distractions, you keep yourself focused on what truly matters, because the truth is, the world does not need to hear about what you are going to do. It needs to see the results. The most successful people are not the ones who talk about their plans. They are the ones who execute them. They are the ones who work tirelessly behind the scenes, who sacrifice, who push through obstacles, who keep going even when no one is watching. And when they finally emerge, when their success speaks for itself, there is no need for explanations. There is no need for justification. The work they have done is undeniable. Success is built in the unseen. It is forged in the hours when no one is looking, in the moments when no one is clapping, in the times when doubt creeps in, but you choose to keep going anyway. It is easy to get discouraged when you do not see immediate results. It is tempting to seek validation, to look for reassurance, to ask others if they believe in you. But true greatness is not built on the belief of others. It is built on your own conviction. It is built on your willingness to keep moving forward even when no one understands your path. The world is filled with people who once had dreams, people who once believed in something greater, but gave up because they let the wrong voices influence them. They listened to the opinions of those who had never built anything themselves. They allowed doubt to take root where confidence should have been. And now they sit on the sidelines watching others rise, wondering what could have been. But that does not have to be your story. You do not have to let their fear become your fear. You do not have to let their doubts become your doubts. You have the power to move forward without seeking permission. You have the ability to build your future without waiting for approval. Every masterpiece was once just an idea. Every great achievement was once just a thought in someone's mind. And the ones who succeed are the ones who nurture that thought, who develop that idea, who work on it relentlessly until it becomes a reality. They do not waste time explaining their plans to people who will never understand them. They do not allow distractions to pull them away from their purpose. They stay the course. They remain focused. They trust the process. When the time is right, your success will speak for itself. When the foundation has been laid, when the work has been done, when the results are undeniable, there will be no need to announce what you have been building. The world will see it. The world will acknowledge it. And the same people who once doubted you, who once questioned your ability, who once told you it could not be done, will have no choice but to recognize what you have accomplished. So stay the course. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Let your work be your voice. Let your results be your proof. Move in silence, and when the time comes, the world will see what you have built. There is a deep and powerful truth that many people never realize. The most important moments of your life are the ones no one else sees. The real battles are fought in the quiet hours, in the solitude of your own mind, in the decisions you make when no one is watching. The victories that shape your destiny are not the ones that happen in the spotlight, but the ones that take place in silence, long before the world ever knows your name, That is why it is so crucial to protect your plans, to guard the dreams that have been placed inside you, to keep your vision safe from the doubts and distractions that will try to steal it from you. There are people in your life right now who are not meant to know where you are going. There are people who, if they knew the plans forming in your heart, would do everything they could to discourage you, to plant seeds of fear and hesitation, to make you second-guess yourself before you ever take the first step. Some will do it out of jealousy because your ambition reminds them of the dreams they gave up on long ago. Some will do it out of fear because they cannot see beyond their own limitations and cannot imagine you rising beyond them. Some will do it unintentionally with words that seem harmless, small doubts spoken casually, but those doubts can take root if you are not careful. And before you know it, you have started to shrink your vision down to a size that feels comfortable to others, rather than stepping boldly into the future that was meant for you. But you cannot afford to let that happen. You cannot afford to let the opinions of people who do not see what you see determine the course of your life. You must be strong enough to walk your path without seeking approval. You must be wise enough to recognize that not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every plan needs to be shared. Not every dream needs to be explained. There is power in moving in silence. There is strength in holding your vision close to your heart, allowing it to grow without interference, without doubt, without unnecessary voices pulling you away from it. Every great achievement begins as a secret. The most successful people in the world did not spend their early days talking about what they were going to do. They spent their time building, creating, working. They knew that a plan spoken too soon can be a plan weakened, that a vision shared too early can be a vision stolen. They understood that when you let too many people into your process, you invite unnecessary resistance, unnecessary criticism, unnecessary obstacles that could have been avoided. They kept their focus, and when they finally revealed what they had been working on, the results spoke for themselves. There was no need to explain, no need to justify, no need to seek validation. The work was done. The proof was there. That is how you must move if you want to reach your full potential. You must train yourself to resist the urge to announce your every step. You must learn to find satisfaction not in the approval of others, but in the progress you are making, in the quiet victories that no one else sees. You must be willing to walk through seasons of obscurity where no one is cheering for you, where no one understands what you are doing, where no one sees the work you are putting in. Because if you can stay faithful in those seasons, if you can keep going even when no one is watching, you will reach a place where your success is undeniable. The truth is, the world does not reward those who talk, it rewards those who act. It does not celebrate potential, it celebrates results. And if you spend too much time talking about your plans, if you waste energy trying to convince others of what you are capable of, you will lose the very momentum that was meant to carry you forward. You do not need their approval. You do not need their encouragement. You do not need their permission. What you need is the discipline to keep going when it feels like no one understands. The faith to trust that the vision inside you is real, and the perseverance to see it through to completion. There will come a day when the work you have done in silence will be seen. There will come a time when the doors that were once closed will open, when the opportunities you have been preparing for will come into view, when the world will finally recognize what you have built. And on that day, the people who once doubted you, the ones who said you were wasting your time, the ones who laughed at your ambition, will have no choice but to acknowledge what you have accomplished. But by then it will not matter, because you will have already known the truth all along. You were never waiting for them to believe. You were never seeking their validation. You knew where you were going before anyone else did, and that is why you got there. There comes a time in life when you must decide who you are going to be. Will you be someone who moves with purpose, or will you be someone who waits for permission? Will you be someone who builds in silence, or will you be someone who wastes energy seeking approval? The truth is, those who succeed, those who rise, those who make a lasting impact on this world are not the ones who talk about their dreams, but the ones who work for them. Your plans are sacred, your vision is powerful, but not everyone is meant to see it before it is fully formed. Not everyone will understand the calling inside you. Not everyone will support what you are trying to build, and that is why you must be careful. You must guard your dreams. You must protect your plans. You must move in silence, focusing on what truly matters instead of being distracted by the noise of other people's opinions. The road to success is not built on words, it is built on action. The greatest victories are not won in front of the crowd. They are won in the quiet moments when no one is watching. The people who accomplish great things in this life are not the ones who seek validation, but the ones who stay committed, who remain disciplined, who refuse to let doubt take root. So stay the course, keep working, keep believing. Do not waste time explaining yourself to those who will never see what you see. Do not allow negativity to weaken your resolve. Let your work speak for itself. Let your results be the proof. And when the time comes, when your success is undeniable, when the world finally sees what you have built, you will know that it was never about them. It was about you and the unwavering faith you had in the journey all along.